It's really frustrating to have to go through multiple files looking for a sort of pattern. In our case, we're talking about ranges of numbers, like we only want to get 1 through 35 or whatever those numbers might be, but we want to exclude anything that's like 36 and above. So let's look at how regular expressions can actually help us do this. All right, so we have some migrations here in this file. What I'm trying to do is I've squashed them in Django. That's a common practice. I've got to find out which ones I can delete out of this list. Now, it doesn't have to be specific to migrations. It's a great example, though. Maybe we want to get rid of everything from 0001 to 0009. So we've squashed those migrations. So now we got to get rid of the dependencies because we don't need them anymore. Normally you would actually replace it, but we're not going to worry about that just now. This is just regular expressions at their finest for productivity. So let's get started. And normally I would actually include all of this first line because we could have something like, blogs, portfolios, whatever app name there might be. So we're going to simplify it for today, but as just a heads up, it's always helpful to, if you have something at the start of the line that makes it even more specific, that's really helpful to have in there. I'm just going to start with this as our lead-in just because I don't want to have to worry about any of these other numbers. So you can think of this as our shorthand for this entire string right here, which would normally be part of my regular expression. So we know that we're going to have 3 leading zeros because we've only squashed from 1 to 9, right? So we are good to go. We're only worried about these single digit guys right here. We don't need to match anything else in this list. So the easiest thing to do there is just put in that digit token that's going to account for anything 0 through 9. So this could be a 0, it could be a 4, it's still matching it. However, it's usually not quite that simple. Maybe you've squashed some more and we've gone into the double digits. So let's say we have squashed from 1 to 19. So now we're going to have to account for this second digit place. One thing that we could do is actually create this little set with the square brackets because we want to say we don't want anything from basically the 20s on, right? So 2 through 9. That will get everything matched from the 01, 03, all the way up to 12 to 19. That's going to capture all of these for us, which is actually pretty sweet. What happens if we choose to squash migrations from maybe 1 to 35? And these are inclusive numbers, right? So we want to get rid of anything that is from 01 all the way through to 35. That's our range that we want to match here. So down here I've got a 34 and a 36. We obviously do not want anything above 36, but we do want to make sure we grab this 34. And we could even change this to 35 since we also want to grab 35. So I'll add that in. So now we have to modify our regular expression. And what we're going to do here is a little bit tricky, but we're going to utilize groups so that we can add in just a little bit more logic. Let's start by just modifying this. We want to be able to capture things in the 20s, right? So what we've done here is we don't want it to match it if it says a 30 in the second digit place right here. And of course, this little digit token indicates that we don't care what the number is after that, as long as it's not a 3 through 9 in that second place right here. Now, this is not sufficient because we need to be able to capture 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So how are we going to do this? We can actually capture this whole group. I'm going to put parentheses over our group so we have our leading zeros outside of the group, and then we've got this stuff all inside of the group. Now we want this, or maybe we'll have another group where it is a 3 in that second digit area, and we want anything from 0 to 5, and that's going to be our set. However, not quite getting us exactly what we want. We still want it to capture this part right here. So that's why we actually have to put all of this inside of another group. So we're going to go back here and we're going to add double parentheses to capture this. So now what we're doing is absolutely perfect. We're getting everything that we wanted, everything from 0001 to 0035 and nothing above that. This is going to be really useful for you. You could throw this into maybe find all. So if you need to search your entire code base to look for all of these kinds of patterns, that's going to help you very quickly identify those random numbers that you forgot about. Maybe there was a 22 in there. It still is getting it so that you know you can delete that. Hey, before you go, would a course about regular expressions for productivity be useful to you? Comment the word teach down below just to give me a heads up if that's something you'd be interested in. And now you've got a template that you can use to adjust depending on whatever your highest number is that you want to include. So if it's a 40 now, you can change this to be 40, but we want it to be 40 through maybe 47, and we can still capture those. Oops. There we go. So we can capture, 46, 40, 47, and all of those can be captured. So you can modify all of these numbers to fit the range that you're looking for. I hope that helps you stay productive this week.